Good morning, moms and dads, and boys and girls, and grandmas and grandpas, and everyone in the congregation. I'm going to give the children's message today. So, this week we are focusing on God's will, and we're focusing on the part where thy will be done. And so, my little portion here is really going to focus on God's will. So, let's think through that for a minute. So, if your dad said, no matter what, I will clean the garage today. What does he mean? Well, I think there's a couple things he means. He means the garage is dirty and he really wants to clean it. And I also think when he says that, he says, I will. That means he's really going to do it. No matter what, he is going to clean the garage. How about if your mom says, no matter what, I will make chicken noodle soup for my sick neighbor? Well, the same thing, I think no matter what, she is going to make the chicken noodle soup, but I also think it means that she loves her neighbor and she wants to show that she loves her neighbor through caring for her. And then what about if your grandpa says, no matter what, I will take you to the ball game this weekend? Well, again, I think it means he's going to do it, but I think it also means that he loves you and he wants to spend time with you and have some fun with you. So when we say, thy will be done, we're saying we want God's will to be done. So there's where the tricky part comes in, because God doesn't usually just say to us, today I will do X, Y, and Z. So wouldn't that be great if you rolled out of bed on Monday morning and God came to you and said, okay, Nancy, today I would like you to do all of these things. And he told us. Well, I have to admit, even if I heard God's voice, I really do think I'd still struggle remembering it all. I don't know if it's my age, but I think even boys and girls would have trouble with that, wouldn't we? So it would be even better if God said, here's my will for you today, and here's my checklist, and you have to do all of these things. And if you do those things, then you'll have done my will. So, Nancy, today, when you're in your first hour class and you're talking to Jimmy, he had a really rough weekend. So, if in some way, shape, or form you can tell him that you care for him, that would be really good for him. He needs that today. And I know you're in a big hurry when it comes to lunchtime because that's your time to be around adults, but if you could just hang back a couple minutes, Hunter's going to have a really rough time in his Spanish class, and he's going to need to come talk to you, and he's going to come and just make sure you're there so that you can help him process what happened and you can be there to show that you love him. And I know when you get home from school, you're going to be in a hurry to make dinner and do all the things that you have to do as a mom. But Hope's making some pretty big decisions right now about her life. And she talked to a counselor today from the college, and she really needs some time to process through all of that. So if you could just not do dinner right away and just sit and talk to her, she needs that today. And I know you bought the card and it's sitting on the counter, but can you take the time to fill the card out today? Because Joe needs that extra encouragement and it's going to be perfectly timed for him to get it. And I would really like you to spend some time praying. And these are the people that I'd specifically like you to pray for. But remember, I want you to talk to me. Prayer is talking to me. I want you to talk to me all day long. And don't forget that. And then, Nancy, if you do all of these things, you'll have done my will today. And I would feel so good about checking all those off and knowing that I had done what God wanted me to do. But I have to admit, I don't get a checklist. And when I wake up on Monday morning and roll out of bed, I don't hear God talking to me out loud where I can hear it. And so let's think about the ways that God does talk to us and that we can hear him. So I know on my checklist, it said for me to reach out to Jimmy, but it might be that when I'm in class, I don't really know why, but I just have this overwhelming need to go talk to Jimmy and tell him he's a great kid. And I do it. just because I don't know why I need to do it, but I just do it. And that's God prompting me. You know, if we spend time in prayer and we're quiet, God sometimes gives us those messages that we know that we have to do those things because he told us in our prayer. He told us that, you know, though the things that he wants us to do, we can feel it in our heart. And another place that we can find out God's will is by reading our Bibles. Pastor John, who is the pastor before Pastor Becky, used to say all the time, you know, at the time it was cool to wear the bracelets, WWJD, what would Jesus do? Oh my gosh, I almost got that wrong. What would Jesus do? And he would always comment. Every time he saw one of those bracelets, he would always say, you want to know what Jesus would do? Read about what he did. And so we need to read what Jesus did because that's God's will. Jesus healed the sick. He made people comfortable. He forgave people. He did all of these wonderful things in the Bible that we can do too. When that mom said, I will make chicken noodle soup for my neighbor, she was doing God's will. Will that chicken noodle soup be the magic thing that makes her friend better? No, probably not. But it showed that her friend was cared for. It made it so that that friend, that neighbor, didn't have to make the meal, so she had time to rest. And chicken noodle soup is good for us too. So when we do those things and when we answer those things that are prompting us in our hearts, we are doing God's will. So we're not probably going to get the checklist, which some of us would like to have. There are other ways when we can know what we're supposed to do. So if you remember from last week, we had all the things we talked about. So if you'd like to close your eyes and fold your hands so we can show that we're focusing ourselves on God and nothing else, please join me. I am actually going to read my prayer for today, and I'm going to read the Lord's Prayer, but more kids style. So if you'll pray for me. Dear Father God, who is in heaven, your name is the most wonderful, special, and holy name. We want you as our King. We want to do what you want us to do. Here where we are, just like it is in heaven. Please give us all that we need. We are sorry for the things we do wrong. Help us to forgive others when they hurt or upset us. Don't let us get tricked into doing bad things. Instead, help us to make good choices, because you are the King of all kings, the most powerful, the most amazing, beautiful, and awesome God, always and forever. Amen. Have a great week, everyone.